a solar eclipse have a material impact on the atmosphere?
Oh, I love this question because with the eclipse, we really are trying to understand the sun-Earth connection. And so you can almost think of the eclipse as a controlled experiment. Basically, the fact that we often, experience changes in our atmosphere during the nighttime, but the eclipse is almost able to turn off and on the sun. So
even right now we were blasted with the sun earlier, and now it's just chilly. Like it's darker.
Yeah. And so it's the upper atmosphere that we're really interested in understanding, and the energy and the radiation from the sun creates what we call the ionosphere, this upper part of the atmosphere that's filled with charged particles. And so when the sun's radiation is not hitting the atmosphere, that ionosphere, it changes in its density, its temperature, and we're really trying to understand those changes, and the eclipse gives us that opportunity to really turn the sun on and off, which we can't do
in
any
little
other
experiment
circumstance.
That honestly all of us also get to be a part of.
Right?
So that's really cool.
It is.
Thanks, Gina. So our next question is from Hunter on YouTube, who asks, does the solar eclipse affect the moon when it happens at night?
Okay, great question, Hunter. So today, as we're experiencing a solar eclipse, that means that the moon is between the sun and the earth. Now, the lunar eclipse that can take place is when the moon is actually on the other side of the earth. And so today we're experiencing that solar eclipse, and we see that the moon is very dark.
And it looks like, too, we're getting a live feed.
Looking at that feed.
All of another annularity taking place right now. Odessa, Texas. Wow.
Oh, there we go.
It's cool to see this comparison right now. What is that? What's on the side of the screen?
Like we might have some solar activity.
Is that a Bailey's bead?
Yeah.
Or solar activity? Wow.
Wow. That's
incredible. It is leaving Odessa right now and heading
It's coming our way.
Us, Gina. Oh my goodness.
In the other live feed that we just have that teeny tiny sliver of the sun left peeking out.
Wow. We've got about 2 minutes here, folks. As you can hear, the crowd is chanting and counting down until our moment right now. Oh, that is beautiful.
It's coming in so quickly too.
And you can
I'm going to grab those glasses so that I have them.
Okay, wow. So before we hit our moment and peak in annularity, folks, it's a good time to give a reminder that it is never safe to look directly at the eclipse without proper eye protection when watching even a partial or annular solar eclipse directly with your eyes. You must look through safe solar viewing glasses or a handheld viewer at all times. Do not look at the sun through a camera lens, telescope, binoculars, or any other optical device while wearing eclipse glasses. Wait, 1 more minute, folks. If you don't have eclipse glasses, you can use an indirect viewing method like a pinhole projector, which has a small opening and will project the image of the sun onto a nearby surface. You just heard it. We are under a minute away from the annular eclipse making its way across our area into Kerrville, Texas.
It feels like it's gotten here so quickly. We've been counting down.
I know.
And now we're less than
It is beautiful. And so, again, you're witnessing firsthand the moon passing between our star and the Earth. And we're taking this full screen right now. Gina, let's take this opportunity and get a closer look.
All right.
Oh my gosh,
and looking around, I mean, everything is so dim.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Wow, you know, like, why am I emotional right now?
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God, this is...
I mean, it doesn't look real.
I didn't think I would cry. Like, what the heck is going on? Wow. This is...
Wow. It looks great.
I mean,
you can just see. It looks like a perfect circle of the sun peeking out. It really is that ring of fire that we have here.
Wow. Gina, I thought I'd have goosebumps, but I'm like literally shaking. This is crazy.
I know. I know. I agree.
So, I mean, this
And
is
I'm
your
just-
first annular eclipse. I mean, was it what you expected?
It is to hear. I mean, we've seen all of the photos from previous annular eclipses, but just as I look again, I mean, it's incredible how the moon and the sun are able to line up like this.
And again, I mean, the moon is way smaller than the sun, but right now it's really giving it a run for its money.
It is, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, so a little fun fact about our moon that's pretty incredible. It's 400 times smaller than the sun, but it's also 400 times closer to the Earth.
No
and
way,
that
400 and
400 is
400?
the magic number here, yeah. The fact that 400 and 400, that means in the sky, the moon and the sun appear to be the same size. And that is unique to us on Earth. No other planet in our solar system has that ratio that makes it so special.
So you're saying that if we viewed an eclipse on another planet, it wouldn't look like this?
It wouldn't. I mean, I'm sure it would be great to see, but it would not look as spectacular as this.
Wow, okay, I'm gonna turn behind me really fast.
Yeah, looking around. And you can just see everything. The shadows are a little bit different. It's dim. You get this hazy feeling, but the sky is still blue. That's what's strange about it.
Oh, it's so sweet. We've got parents like holding little eclipse glasses on their kids to look up. This is just, it's really amazing how just like, I don't know, a natural phenomenon can
Yeah.
really make the world pause for a second.
It's great.
Wow.
You heard the cheering, and now it's
I know,
quiet
now it's
again as people
quiet.
are just looking.
And so for us, this is gonna last about 4 minutes until it crosses, right?
That's right.
And why is that? Is that the same in every city or?
Yeah, so there's actually the length of the maximum eclipse can change based on several factors. I mean, each eclipse is unique. And so one thing has to do with where in the moon's orbit the moon is, because the moon's orbit isn't circular. So it will go faster and slower at different parts. And that will make the shadow travel at different speeds. Also, where the shadow is landing on Earth will have an impact, because if you're at the equator, you're going to be rotating much faster than if you were at the poles. And so for that fact, it changes the length of that maximum eclipse too. And that's true not just for annular eclipses, but for the partial eclipses, for the totality, for total solar eclipses as well. And I imagine, our folks at home getting some of those partial eclipses are also having a great experience too.
Wow. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. Like, this is incredible. And so, Gina, I'm sure, I mean, you're in heliophysics, sun science. I'm sure some of your teams are studying today's eclipse. Like,
Oh yeah,
what?
absolutely.
So,
I
what
mean,
kind of science can only happen right now?
Right, we've heard about the sounding rockets that are experimenting.
Oh, that's right.
today,
We saw one. Yeah.
studying the upper atmosphere. And so we're really interested in knowing, like right now in our location, as that radiation from the sun's being blocked, how does the upper atmosphere change? And so in addition to that, I mean, we really want to understand how those sunspots, what's going on when they're covered versus when they are not covered. We can tell the difference in that radiation that's coming from the sun. And so there's so much science that we can do.
And this is just, folks, view is just so incredible. Before we fully pass through this transit, let's check in with James at our Eclipse desk. James, I know you are seeing this. What do you think?
It's truly a surreal moment. It feels like almost
was
nighttime. It's
so-
been really breezy, chilly.
That was so
the shadows
awesome.
are all like little rings as well. It's just a beautiful sight. Kind of hard to put into words the exact feeling. I mean, we've been preparing for this for a while. We've been tracking this all morning with our Eclipse Explorer, but actually to see it in person and to take it in, it's a really incredible moment, and this only lasted about 4 minutes. You can see on our Eclipse Explorer, this is already passing off of Kerrville, heading further southeast to parts of the Texas coast on the Gulf. And the morning is far from over here. For a lot of folks in Central America and South America, their morning is just starting off here. The partial eclipse is affecting still a large part of the region. You can see this whole area that's highlighted here in the larger ellipse here. That's all being affected still by that partial eclipse. And you can see on our track that this is going to continue moving further southeast all the way into parts of South America before the morning's over. It's been just incredible tracking this. And actually, Kerrville, we're in the path of the total solar eclipse for next year. So if I turn on the path for next year, you can see X marks the spot here in Kerrville. We're going to be coming right back here to witness this incredible cosmic event once again, getting that incredible view. Just really, again, very hard to put into words just how amazing this is. Just a stunning experience, and it's been an honor to be here with you this morning, tracking this event as it's moved across. We started the morning in Eugene, Oregon. Now it has arrived and already passed us in Kerrville. I'll continue to track it for a little bit longer here, but for now, back to you, Tahira.
Thank you, James. And folks, this is just the beginning. Today's event kickstarts NASA's Heliophysics Big Year, which is a year where we're encouraging people to do as many sun-related activities as possible in the lead up to next year's total solar eclipse. Now, Joy and Michael in Albuquerque are going to share some of the ways you can play a part. Joy, what can we look forward to?
Now that the annular eclipse is here, the fun has just begun. So today is the official launch of NASA's Heliophysics Big Year. This is a year-long celebration of solar science, and it's modeled after the Big Year concept from citizen scientists in the bird watching community. So they're challenged to see as many birds as they can, but in the Heliophysics Big Year, we're challenging you to do as many sun science-related activities as possible. And so one way to participate is through NASA's citizen science projects. Here are a few sun-related ones you could join.
Did you know that you can participate in solar eclipse science with NASA? NASA's citizen science projects are collaborations between scientists and members of the public, no matter your citizenship. Several volunteer science projects are gearing up for the 2024 total solar eclipse that you can join. Total solar eclipses don't just look cool, they provide a rare chance to see the sun's faint outer atmosphere. Using telescopes and cameras that are safe for viewing the sun, volunteer scientists across North America will capture images of the total solar eclipse. Scientists will study these images in detail, tracking how plumes of solar material move through the sun's atmosphere. But be careful, without proper tools and techniques, you can damage your eyes and your camera. Did you know you can listen to an eclipse too? Amateur or ham radio operators will send radio messages to one another during the eclipse to see how changes in the upper atmosphere distort radio signals. As the moon blocks one portion of the sun, it can make other portions easier to see. Working with local scientists at an observatory in Southern California, participants will observe magnetic hotspots on the sun as the moon passes over them, revealing details they normally can't detect. Want to learn more? Follow Do NASA Science on X and Facebook to see how you can get involved in NASA citizen science.
So as you can see in the telescope view, the moon is now moving away from the sun, which is really, really amazing that we're still seeing this partial eclipse.
Absolutely, and I think I can see a sunspot in there too, and I think on one of the earlier shots, I could see a prominence. So we're seeing NASA's sun science happening in real time.
So we're getting some amazing questions online. Shall we ask some more?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Answer some more. Okay, so we have a question from Peter Chang on X, and they ask, can filtered telescopes see flares on the sun during totality?
Oh, that's a really good question. The answer is yes. It depends on what filter though. So if you use just a white light filter, then you have to have an exceptionally large flare in order to be able to see it. If you use a filter like an H-alpha filter that specifically selects one color of red light, then you're going to be able to see flares a little bit more frequently, even even during totality as the corona adjusts to that flare as it erupts.
Okay, so we have time for one more question. Yuri on X asks, if a solar system had more than one star, would they have more solar eclipses? Would they all look like the same eclipses that we have here on Earth?
Ooh, that is getting a little sci-fi, but that's okay. So if we had more than one sun, you'd have to have a moon to block both suns, or maybe two moons to block both suns. So you'd have to have a very complex geometry to get everything lined up perfectly so you could get solar eclipses with two suns and two moons, and oh, it would get very complicated.
Thank you so much, Michael.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now we're joined with NASA's heliophysics lead, Denise Hill, who's going to tell us more about how you can participate in the heliophysics big year. Hi, Denise, how are you today?
Great. Did you see that? That was my first annular eclipse, and we got a prominence. I am so stoked. That was the dopest thing ever. Okay, okay. Heliophysics big year. So, as you've heard before, the sun touches everything. And the Heliophysics Big Year is a celebration, a global celebration of sun and sun science and what we have going on. But it's also, I think I heard you say it, Michael, it's about the community and being communal and just the unity of hearing everybody cheer. The sun touches us all in so many different ways. And so the Heliophysics Big Year is going to help us kind of discover all the ways the sun touches us scientifically, but in other ways as well.
And why is it a big year for the sun?
So you saw what just happened, right? Oh, well, that's nothing. Coming up in April 8th, we have the total solar eclipse, and then Parker Solar Probe's closest approach, which will end out the Heliophysics Big Year. But it's the mission that has literally touched the sun, and it's going to be making its closest approach. And then from there, every single month during the Heliophysics Big Year, and it's a big year because it's more than 12 months, but during that time, we have themes for on different ways people can explore the sun and how it touches them. So we have themes like fashion. We're going to be delving into physical and mental and emotional health. The sun touches us in so many ways besides. And then we have missions. In just a couple weeks, we have our AWE mission that is launching, and it's going to be the first space weather station on ISS. And we are so excited. You have no idea.
Wow, there's so many new NASA events and opportunities coming up. Is there any other like science events that maybe people could get involved with themselves?
Yeah, for sure. So we've talked about citizen science a bunch, and that is one of the ways for sure for people to get involved and to do NASA science with real scientists. And then there's also, like, you are a scientist. Every single one of us is a scientist. And we're going to share ways that you can explore the sun, do your own little scientific investigations yourself. And so, yeah, the science is going to be front and center. There's also going to be some other things as well.
That's great. So what are you most excited about in this upcoming big year?
For me, it's the unity, right? Like the sun touches, it doesn't matter what race you are, what ethnicity, what culture, religion, whether you live in a rural community, urban community, it doesn't matter. The sun touches us all. And we like to call it our extraordinarily ordinary sun, because our sun is supposed to just be ordinary. But it is responsible and touches every living thing on Earth. And no other star that we know of has that level of responsibility. So that gives me hope that you can be ordinary and have an extraordinary impact.
That's amazing.
Well, I think our sun's pretty extraordinary by itself, so I don't know.
Thank you so much for joining us, Denise.
Thanks for having me.
So if you want to learn more about the Heliophysics Big Year, you can visit go.nasa.gov/heliobigyear. Michael, are you excited for the Heliophysics Big Year?
I am so excited because I get to be a rock star for an entire year, and then I go back to being a normal scientist again. No, it's going to be fantastic for science, for outreach, for everything. I am so excited for this.
Well, the Heliophysics Big Year has so many opportunities for folks around the world to get involved with NASA science, especially during the 2024 total solar eclipse. And one group of citizen scientists will be using their sensors to make observations. They'll gather sound recordings and help with data analysis to understand how wildlife will be impacted by solar eclipses. And you can help them too, no matter your citizenship. So now let's learn more.
During a total solar eclipse, it is almost like day becomes night very quickly.
So knowing that there's going to be a change in that light and life-giving energy means that we can predict when animals are going to have a rapid shift in their behavior,
which results in changes in the acoustic environment or the soundscape.
So the Eclipse Soundscapes project is a project to determine how eclipses affect life here on Earth.
And there's a lot more to observation than just what you see. It's also important to think about what you hear.
We're measuring how the rapid onset of darkness during an eclipse affects wildlife by measuring the changes in sounds that they make.
The general public is best suited for this type of project because the general public is everywhere.
And that's really the power of the participatory science component of this project. It enables recordings and observations of soundscapes across the diversity of ecosystems covered by the path of totality. We might think of some ecosystems having a greater influence of human activities on the soundscape, whereas in other ecosystems, say a remote part of a national park, we might have a lower influence of human activities and greater influence from the sounds of life and earth.
The only way to properly preserve a species is to understand it. The only way to understand it is through scientific study on their behavior, their patterns, and their habitat requirements. One of the things we'll be doing during the total solar eclipse is setting up these recording stations. So these are our acoustic monitoring stations. And what we're doing is listening for calls of the different bat species with the hopes of maybe picking up some of those endangered species, like the northern long-eared bat. We're hoping the results of this study will inform us about the health of our bat populations on Hot Springs National Park and help improve future conservation efforts.
The Eclipse Soundscapes project is an inclusive and accessible project that is inviting the general public to get involved in NASA science alongside scientists and subject matter experts.
Wherever you take your observations, you might be giving us information that has never been recorded before. And that is really useful and interesting to a scientist.
Wow, that sounds like an exciting project that anyone can get involved with. So if you want to learn more about Eclipse Soundscapes or any of other NASA's other citizen science opportunities, go to go.nasa.gov/HeliaBigYear. Well, thank you to everyone joining us online and here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's been an unforgettable day, hasn't it, Michael?
Oh, it certainly has. I will never forget this day. It has been just a day full of activity and memories that will last a lifetime.
So although the annular eclipse is over in Albuquerque, we still have one more day left at the Balloon Fiesta and 1 year to participate in as many sun science-related activities as possible in the heliophysics big year. So now let's head back to Kerrville, Texas, where Tahira and Gina will chat about the upcoming total solar eclipse. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
And thank you, Joy and Michael. I mean, it sounds like we have so much to look forward to over this next year. And folks, even though peak annularity just passed in Kerrville, Texas, we are still getting an incredible view on this live telescope feed. You can see the moon is now passing over the sun and honestly on its way to make another city's day. Now, it is a good point to remind folks that X marks the spot here in Kerrville, Texas, where the 2024 total solar eclipse will pass in just 6 months. This very lucky city is in the path of totality and will be one of the places to witness the moon completely blocking out the face of the sun and darkening the sky as if it were dawn or dusk. Now, Gina and I are here with NASA Chief Scientist, Dr. Kate Calvin, to learn more about what we can expect for next year. Kate, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Have you. And so, Kate, can you start off and just give us an idea of what science we can expect only for a total solar eclipse?
So one of the things that scientists are really interested in studying is called the corona. It's a part of the sun's atmosphere. It's the source of heat and particles that come towards Earth. But normally it's too bright, and so you can't really observe it directly. Scientists use instruments called chronographs to block some of that light, but it's still hard to see parts of the corona.
It's not the same as a total eclipse?
Yeah, the total eclipse gives the best environment for studying the corona.
Right, but we were so lucky to just see that prominence coming off of the sun.
And what is the prominence?
And so that's actually some of that solar particles, some of the particles coming off of the sun, the ejecta, and we can kind of see it hanging there, which either turns into an eruption, some of that activity that we can observe, or it can kind of just quiet down as well. Yeah. So, Kate, can you tell us, how can the public get involved with the total solar eclipse?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, so we have a number of citizen science projects. These are projects where people anywhere around the world can help contribute to our science. You don't have to be in the path of totality to contribute. We have projects for everyone. And they're different projects. Some of them you need cameras or telescopes or equipment. Others you can use just with your cell phone. And so we have one project that's called On the Globe Observer app. It's to help understand the effect of eclipses eclipses on Earth's weather, and you can do that just with your phone.
Do you need a science background, or?
Anyone can contribute. We walk you through what you need to do, and sometimes it's as simple as taking a picture or recording a sound. And so you can all contribute to our science.
So anybody can get involved.
Anyone can get involved.
Perfect. And then can you tell us a little more how the eclipse science that we're doing will help to inform kind of the broader science at NASA?
Yeah, and so like I said, we're trying to study the corona, this source of heat and particles towards Earth. They affect Earth. They can disrupt electronics. They can lead to northern lights. So we're really interested in Earth and understanding the effects on Earth. But there's also the sun affects other planets and bodies in the solar system, like the moon and Mars. And so when we think about exploring the solar system, we want to understand the sun and its role in it.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, we have so much to look forward to next year. I want to know real quick, what's your peak excitement for next year's total solar eclipse? Gina, we'll start with you, and then Kate, would love to hear your thoughts.
Sure. So I'm really excited to compare what we saw today, that annular eclipse. How does it compare to that total solar eclipse? You know, I got to see a total in 2017, but every eclipse is unique, and so
such a scientist.
I know,
want to do
that
a
is
little
my experiment. How many data points can I get? But not just that, you know, we're hearing everything about the heliophysics big year, and so it kicks off today, and that total solar eclipse in April will be the next event. So how many events can I participate in for the heliophysics big year?
Amazing. What about you, Kate?
I'm interested in sort of the things beyond just what you see, but what you feel, so that it's going to get cooler, and we might hear some animals.
Today, we felt that.
Yeah, and I really want the full body experience of the eclipse.
That is incredible. And I mean, today has been a spectacular day. So folks, let's check in one last time with James at our eclipse desk to see how he's doing. James, what's it like?
Yeah, Tahira, I'm still in awe of the moment that we just had here a couple minutes ago here in Kerrville, Texas. Just a stunning view of that ring of fire here. And as you can see on our Eclipse Explorer, the annularity has now shifted off into the Gulf of Mexico. So if you're in a boat out there, you'll have a phenomenal view. But we're going to be here once again next year, April 8th, 2024 in Kerrville, Texas. I've got the path of the 2024 total solar eclipse up here on the screen. You can see it's tracking right through us in Kerrville and then affecting an entirely new area here that is going to be stretching all the way up to parts of New England, all the way up to Maine, even parts of Canada. So a really large area there as well. So definitely save those pinhole projectors and certainly keep a hold of those eclipse glasses. You're going to need them for next year. We're going to be right back to cover all of that incredible stuff next year with you. It's been amazing tracking this today. And again, this is still moving onwards to Central America and South America. So if you're tuning in from there, you have a great view incoming. And in many parts of the country, there's still that partial eclipse. A truly awe-inspiring morning and a wonderful day for all. So thank you so much. Back to you, Tahira.
And thank you so much, James, for bringing us into the action during today's show. Gina, so wow. I mean, this was both of our first experiences. So final thoughts.
I mean, what a day. At this point, you know, I'm ready to look at those calculations for the eclipses and check out not only April, but what else can I see in the future, because these are spectacular.
A little eclipse chaser now.
Exactly. I'll chase them around the world.
No, and it has been so fantastic having you on today's show to really just like help break down what we are experiencing today. And so again, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you for having me.
And folks, the action isn't over yet. You can continue to watch views of today's annular eclipse as it moves across the path by visiting go.nasa.gov/eclipse 2023 live. That live stream will continue running until 4:30 p.m. Eastern as this eclipse continues its way through Central and South America. Now, unlike today's Ring of Fire effect, we are going to witness the moon completely block out the face of the sun during next year's total solar eclipse. The sky is going to darken as if it were dawn or dusk. You can learn more about eclipses and what's in store for April 8th, 2024 by visiting go.nasa.gov/eclipses. The total solar eclipse is sure to be a rare event and one you will not want to miss. So stay up to date with sun-related events and how we are studying our star by following NASA Sun on social media. Folks, thank you to everyone who has tuned in to today's coverage of the 2023 Annular Solar Eclipse. We hope to see you back here next April as we ring in the last total solar eclipse that will pass through the mainland U.S. for 2 decades. Now, here's how you can celebrate the countdown to April 8th by joining our heliophysics big year.
We are one of 100 billion stars in a vast galaxy, but for all of human culture on Earth, one sun that nourishes us all.
That is what stirs humankind. That's what unites us.
Experience the wonder, the beauty, and the power of our star.
One sun across space, time, and culture.
Let us continue the quest to unfold this universe. And let us continue to find unity in our discovery.